Hi folks, welcome back to Meaningful Money. Okay, I'm here at Chapel Carn Bray, which is basically a hill, but probably the highest point in West Penwith, which is where I live. So the horizon there, we're looking, you may just be able to see Sennan Church on the horizon there, but it's a pretty hazy day, so you might not be able to see a lot actually, but hey, it's a different location. Right, we're moving on to a different subject now. We're talking about taxation and the different taxes that are out there and what you can do about them, but primarily how they work. Now, it was Benjamin Franklin, President of the United States, who coined what is a very well-known expression, and he said that in this world nothing can be said to be certain except for death and taxes, and that's true, of course. We are all taxed to a certain extent. So we need to look at how the different taxes work and what you can do about them. But specifically I'm talking about personal taxes, so the ones which affect you personally, as opposed to general taxes, things like VAT and petrol duty, stuff like that. But it's worth mentioning though right at the start, the sort of morality and ethics around taxes. See, I have had clients come to me and say something like, I want you to arrange my affairs so that I pay no tax at all. Now that's possible for many people anyway, because there are all kinds of loopholes and wrinkles in tax law, such as offshoring money and things like that. The super rich usually have their bases in places like the Cayman Islands or the Channel Islands or somewhere like that. And the reason they do that is usually for tax. But I have a certain issue with that, because I don't see really how one can use a state-funded school or a state-funded hospital and yet want to pay no tax at all. If you get the benefit, my view is you should pay for it to a certain extent at least. It's important also to recognise right at the outset the distinction between tax evasion and tax avoidance. One is illegal, the other is legal. Tax evasion is the one that Ken Dodd did. That's the illegal one. That's where you just don't pay it. Tax avoidance is arranging your affairs to reduce your tax bill. Now that I don't have a problem with. There are tax planning angles that we can use and should use. But if it's your stated intention to pay zero tax, then I'm afraid I wouldn't be working with you as a client. But that's just me. You may disagree. But anyway, the four taxes particularly we're going to be talking about, and which I'll start sort of going into detail next time, are income tax, national insurance, capital gains tax, and inheritance tax. Those are the four ones which affect many people and which affect your personal wealth most directly. Now, we have the most complex tax system, I think, of any country in the world, and it's become exponentially more complex under the previous government. And that's not likely to change anytime soon. A complex tax code usually benefits the government more than it does its citizens, so therefore it's not likely to change, I wouldn't think. But it's my job, obviously, on this website to try and explain things as simply as possible. So there are many wrinkles, little angles when it comes to tax. There's so many exceptions and exemptions and allowances. I can't possibly go into them all. But what we can do is to give you the basics so that you know how the taxes work, because that's half the battle. Once you know how they work, you can think about how you might want to plan around them to a point. So, income tax, national insurance, capital gains tax, and inheritance tax. Next time we're going to start talking about income tax, and I'm already thinking that might take me 2 or 3 videos to do, because I want to give you some examples as to how it works as well. So, income tax next time. From Chapel Carn Bray, after this very short little introductory video to taxation, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.